Entire fleets vanished without a trace. Not because of war, not because of pirates, not because they ran out of supplies. They simply disappeared. For most of human history, the ocean was a place of uncertainty. Sailors could survive weeks of storms, navigate thousands of miles, and successfully cross entire seas, only to crash into rocks a few hundred yards from home. Thick fog, darkness, hidden reefs, and unfamiliar coastlines turned the final moments of a voyage into the most dangerous part of the journey. Countless ships completed their journeys only to be destroyed within sight of land. So how did humanity solve one of the ocean's deadliest problems? How did a tower with a fire on top become one of the most important inventions in maritime history? This is the history of the lighthouse. It's something we associate with postcards, coastal towns, and beautiful ocean views. But for centuries, lighthouses were far more than landmarks. They protected trade routes, saved economies, prevented disasters, and helped connect the world. Without them, global commerce would have been slower, riskier, and far more expensive. I'm Aidan Thomas of the Untold Archive, and this is the story of how humanity learned to guide ships home. For ancient sailors, the coastline was both a friend and an enemy. Land meant safety, fresh water, food, and civilization. But coastlines also hid deadly hazards. Sharp rocks, sandbanks, cliffs, and reefs could destroy a ship in minutes. During daylight, experienced sailors could often avoid these dangers. At night, everything changed. Imagine standing on the deck of a wooden ship 2,000 years ago. There are no GPS systems, no radar, no radio communication, no weather forecasts. The moon is hidden behind clouds, the sea is rough, the wind is pushing your vessel toward shore. You know land is nearby, but you can't see it. You don't know where the rocks are. You don't know where the harbor entrance is. And by the time you do, it may already be too late. This wasn't a rare problem. It happened constantly. Ancient shipwrecks have been discovered all over the Mediterranean, the Atlantic coast, and countless other maritime regions. Many weren't destroyed in the middle of the ocean. They were lost near shore, where navigation became most difficult. As trade expanded, the cost of these disasters grew. Ships didn't just carry sailors, they carried grain, spices, textiles, metals, weapons, and wealth. A single shipwreck could wipe out fortunes. Entire communities depended on maritime trade, and every lost vessel represented a major economic blow. Civilizations needed a solution. The answer came in the form of fire. One of the earliest and most famous lighthouses in history was the Lighthouse of Alexandria, built in ancient Egypt around the 3rd century BC. Standing on the island of Pharos, near the entrance to Alexandria's harbor, it was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Estimates suggest it stood over 300 feet tall, making it one of the tallest structures on Earth at the time. During the day, its polished surfaces reflected sunlight across the sea. At night, enormous fires burned at its summit, creating a beacon visible for miles. For sailors approaching one of the busiest ports in the ancient world, the lighthouse served as a guide through dangerous waters. It was more than a building. It was a promise, a signal that civilization was nearby, a sign that safety was within reach. The Lighthouse of Alexandria became so famous that its very name influenced language. The island of Pharos became associated with lighthouses themselves, and variations of the word can still be found in several modern languages. But Alexandria was only the beginning. As maritime trade expanded across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, more coastal communities began building their own navigation beacons. Some were simple bonfires on hilltops, others were stone towers maintained by local authorities. Their purpose was always the same: help sailors avoid disaster. Throughout the Middle Ages, seaborne trade became increasingly important. Merchant ships connected distant cities, transporting goods across vast distances, yet navigation remained dangerous. Storms could push vessels off course. Fog could erase landmarks. Darkness could transform familiar waters into deadly traps. In response, lighthouse construction accelerated. Coastal rulers quickly realized something important. A lighthouse wasn't merely a safety feature. It was an economic investment. Every ship that arrived safely brought wealth. Every shipwreck represented lost revenue. Ports with reliable navigation systems attracted more merchants. More merchants meant more taxes, more trade, and greater prosperity. The lighthouse became a tool of economic power. Here's what most people don't realize. Lighthouses didn't just save ships, they helped create the modern global economy. Trade depends on reliability. Merchants need confidence that goods will arrive on time. Investors need confidence that ships will survive their journeys. Governments need confidence that trade routes remain functional. Every improvement in maritime safety increased economic activity. And few improvements were more effective than helping sailors find safe passage through dangerous waters. By the 17th and 18th centuries, international trade was expanding rapidly. European powers established global networks stretching across continents. Merchant vessels crossed oceans carrying tea, coffee, sugar, textiles, and countless other products. But maritime traffic brought new challenges. More ships meant more accidents. More accidents meant greater demand for reliable navigation systems. Engineers began developing increasingly sophisticated lighthouses. Towers grew taller. Lighting systems improved. Reflectors amplified brightness. Designs became more efficient. Then came one of the most important breakthroughs in lighthouse history: the Fresnel lens. Invented by French physicist Augustin Jean Fresnel in the early 19th century, the Fresnel lens transformed lighthouse technology. Traditional lighthouse lamps wasted enormous amounts of light. The Fresnel lens solved this problem by focusing and directing light into powerful beams visible across remarkable distances. Some lighthouse beams could now be seen more than 20 miles away. For sailors navigating dangerous coastlines, this was revolutionary. Suddenly, navigation became safer than ever before. The lighthouse entered its golden age. Yet life inside a lighthouse was far from glamorous. Lighthouse keepers often lived in extreme isolation. Many were stationed on remote islands or rocky outcrops surrounded by rough seas. Some spent weeks or months cut off from the outside world. Their responsibilities were relentless. The light had to remain operational every night. Fuel supplies needed constant monitoring. Lenses required cleaning. Equipment demanded maintenance. One mistake could lead to catastrophe. Entire ships depended on their work. Storms added another layer of danger. Massive waves sometimes struck lighthouse towers with enough force to shake stone foundations. Keepers endured violent weather, loneliness, and exhausting routines. Yet despite these hardships, they performed one of the most important jobs in maritime history. Because when sailors saw that distant light in the darkness, they knew someone was watching. Someone was guiding them. Someone was helping them get home. By the 20th century, technology began changing the role of lighthouses. Electric lighting replaced oil lamps. Automation reduced the need for full-time keepers. Radio navigation emerged. Then came radar. Eventually, satellite navigation transformed maritime travel entirely. Today, ships can determine their location with extraordinary precision. Modern captains have access to technology that ancient sailors could never have imagined. Yet many lighthouses still stand. Some remain operational. Others have become historical landmarks. And even in the age of satellites, they continue to symbolize safety, guidance, and human ingenuity. Because the lighthouse represents something deeper than navigation. It represents humanity's determination to solve problems. For thousands of years, sailors risked their lives crossing dangerous waters. Rather than accepting those dangers, people built solutions. They raised towers against storms. They maintained lights through darkness. They created systems that protected strangers they would never meet. The lighthouse became proof that civilization advances when people work to make the world safer for others. And that's why these towers matter. Not because they're beautiful, not because they're historic, but because they transformed uncertainty into direction. They turned danger into opportunity. They helped connect the world. Before lighthouses, entire fleets could disappear into darkness. After lighthouses, countless sailors found their way home. But guiding ships was only part of the challenge. Even after sailors could find their destination, they still faced another deadly problem. They had no reliable way to know where they were in the middle of the ocean. For centuries, that problem left explorers lost, trade routes uncertain, and entire expeditions doomed. The next episode. Before compasses, sailors crossed oceans using this. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden story behind one of history's most important inventions,